Today I'll be talking on a very important subject, and that is philosophy. Today I'll complete my cycle, the circle of the four sources of knowledge or the four approaches to reality. Already I discussed that there are four sources of knowledge: science, philosophy, religion, and intuition. And these are the four approaches to reality. Science uses senses, experiment, observation, while religion uses revelation. Intuition is used by mysticism, spirituality, and that which is the direct experience. And similarly, we have philosophy, which uses rationality, reason. So, what is the definition, scope, and nature of philosophy? Philosophy is the search of ultimate reality through rational methods. Rational methods. Basically, the word philosophy means that is love with wisdom. So, in the beginning, and even now in 21st century, again there is a revival that philosophy is for wisdom, for life. One can be intelligent, one may know many things, but may not be wise. So, the practical aspect of intelligence, knowledge, understanding, that is wisdom. So, the search of wisdom, that is, or the love for wisdom, that is philosophy. But the definition is the search of ultimate reality through rational methods. So, we want to see reality. What is reality? What is our reality as human being? What is the reality of this universe? What is the reality of reality? What is knowledge? And what is the knowledge of knowledge? What is the philosophy of philosophy? What is truth? What is good? What is bad? All these things we study in philosophy through rational method, not through revelation. For example, God tells a prophet, this is good, this is bad. That is faith, no question. La reba fihi, no doubt. So that is one way. Science tells you some things about the reality of nature, for example, in physics, in modern physics. Although science doesn't touch ethics that much. Intuition, mysticism, spirituality, when there are direct experiences, which may be instinctual from your instinct, or which may be mystic or spiritual, which I already discussed, and you may feel, that is extra sensual perception. You may perceive things that it is good or bad. It comes to you. It is ilham. Okay, it is like to you. It is revealed not by God but by your own self. So that is spirituality. While philosophy tells you all these things: reality, truth, knowledge, what is good, what is bad, morality, through rational methods. What are those rational methods? One rational method is Socratic methods. Socrates, the famous Greek philosopher, the man, I love him. He's the founder of the modern knowledge, the modern philosophy, the modern thinking, understanding. Socrates, who was the teacher of Plato, and Plato was the teacher of Aristotle. So Socratic method is asking questions, inquiry, dialogue, debate. Socratic method, asking. For example, he used to ask people the definitions, what this thing is. For example, he asked a person, where are you going? I am going to a court. For what? For justice. So he said, do you know what is justice? So the man was like confused in the definition of justice. Justice is this, my right, that, this and that. So he couldn't define it. So he said that if you don't know what is justice, so you don't deserve justice. So knowledge was virtue, and then this was the inquiry, asking question. For example, are you educated? Yes, I am educated. Do you know what is education? Education means to read this, that. You are not clear. So philosophy brings this clarity, and that is Socratic method, to ask questions, to debate. And then Hegel, another philosopher, made it like more sophisticated by dialectic method, and then Marx and dialectic materialism, that you make a thesis, you make a statement, a proposition, and then you say against, you oppose that, which is called antithesis, and then you combine this information and you make synthesis. So thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. You ask question, then you reply to that, and then a time comes when you synthesize, when you bring all these things together. So that is dialectic. Similarly, we have inductive method. Inductive is more like scientific method, that you come from particular towards general. You start from simple and you go towards complicated. To understand the universe, you understand the atom. You start from small, okay? You go from bottom to top. So that is inductive. And the other is deductive, which is more philosophical. You come from top to bottom. You say universe. What is universe? You big questions. Okay? Big questions. What is human being? Who are we? What is being? So these are big questions, big philosophical questions. Then from general, you come down. So that is deductive method. So these are different methods which are used in philosophy and in logic, which is reasoning, how to reason, what is valid argument. When you do some argument, so the validity of argument to show, that is called logic, syllogism. Then you get a lot of premises, and then you reach to the truth or you reach to the reality. So these are philosophical methods. Then we have different philosophies. Myself, I was like, my life was changed by one word, by one philosophy, and that is called Stoicism. Stoicism. Stoicism is a Greek philosophy by Zeno, who started, and Stoicism says live according to nature, the demands of nature, and differentiate what is in your control and what is not in your control. So at that time, and now in 21st century, I guess there is a revival that philosophy is not just thinking and you are confused and the people think that philosopher does nothing. No, philosophy is for life, like Stoicism. Some other time I will deliver a special lecture on Stoicism. So we have different philosophies. Like one branch of philosophy that is called Epistemology. Epistemology. Epistemology is the philosophy of knowledge. That what is knowledge? How do we know? And when we know something, so what is the reality of that knowing, of that process of knowing? How? Because philosophy basically answers the question why. Why the things are, why? Not so much how. How is more in science. And religion is more what should be. Religion doesn't give you any choice. You have to do what the religion tells you. But philosophy asks questions why. So why knowledge? And what is knowledge? Where from the knowledge come? So this is called epistemology. So for example, one philosophy that is called rationalism. That knowledge is in the mind. It is fabricated here in the mind. Rationalism, not from outside. This is inside, from the mind. And this is called a priori knowledge, that the things already exist here. While the opposite philosophy to this is called empiricism, that the things come from outside. Empiricism, that is more experimental. We understand the universe if we understand small things. We understand atoms, then we can understand galaxies. So that is that the things come from outside. That is empiricism. Mind and senses, that what we come from outside. Empiricism, to conduct experiment, to see the things, to touch the things, and then we know that thing. So we need data for our mind, and then the mind understands that. So when we combine these two, mind and outside, so then it is called constructivism, that both the things are important, not only just inside thinking and thinking and thinking. No, you can get knowledge, information from outside also, like more scientific method, that is empiricism. But there is another philosophy which is called transcendentalism. Transcendentalism is both don't work, neither mind nor senses. Both don't work. The things, this is more skepticism. The things are in doubt. Okay, both are not complete or perfect, mind and your senses. So that is called transcendentalism. Go beyond these two. Go beyond. Okay, go beyond these two. Work on intuition. And then we have another philosophy that is called intuitionism. That intuition, the direct experience, the feeling, the instinct, the things are revealed to you directly, not mind. You are thinking and thinking, you will get nothing. And then from the senses also, the things are deceiving, the things can cheat you. You consider it a tomato, but it may be some other thing. It's not a tomato, it has a lot of proteins and it is made of so many other things. We just call it tomato, but the tomato is not tomato. It is made of so many other ingredients, and all those ingredients have different names. So this is just a falsification to call that fruit or that vegetable tomato. So go beyond these things, feel the things, and that is transcendentalism. Or then another form of this is intuitionism. Intuition, vijdan, inside. Okay, direct experience. The things are revealed to you. So that is kinds of philosophy. Now, this is epistemology. How we know things. Epistemology, the knowledge of knowledge. Then another branch of philosophy, which is very important, that is ontology. Ontology itself is the branch of metaphysics. Like in science, we study physics, matter. So beyond matter, the things which are like being, existence, reality. What is the reality of reality? What is existence? Do we exist? The things in our mind is reality. The idea of a chair is a reality, or the chair itself is a reality. So if you say the idea, the prototype, that is like the reality, so archetype, so then that is called idealism, idea. But if you say that reality lies in existence, the things must exist, then it becomes real. So then this is called realism. And then there is representative realism, that sense data, that the things give you information that I exist. The data. Maybe the apple is red, but this is your concept. The thing gives you the concept that this apple exists. So this is called representative realism. I can't discuss in detail, but you may Google it further. I will also be speaking on these topics in detail in future. Representative realism. So, and then we have materialism. Matter is the reality. Matter. And another form of this is physicalism. Physicalism, that the physical existence of a thing is reality. Now, for example, idea is nothing. Matter is important. The things must be concrete, that we can touch, we can feel it by our five senses. And then that is called materialism, which was the Karl Marx, that we must believe in material things, matter, what is important, not ideas. So this is ontology, existence, reality, being, and then God, that what is the being of God, human being, all these discussions we do in ontology. One of a very important branch of philosophy, that is ethics. What is good and what is bad? A lot of theories and very, very interesting theories, like virtue ethics of Aristotle. He says character, do good things for the sake of goodness. Don't ask any reward for that. Just do it because it is good. This is called virtue ethics, Aristotle. And then we have, for example, consequentialism, consequences. That if the thing it has good consequences, the result is good, so the thing is good. But virtue ethics says that no, it is not you don't do it for consequences, that I will get some reward, but you do it for the sake of its goodness. This is consequentialism. And then against consequentialism, then we have an ethical theory which is called absolutism, moral absolutisms. That the things are absolute, the things are like good. Okay. For example, stealing is bad, truth is good, telling lie is bad, telling something which is you say true, the thing true, the truth is good, always it will be good. So that is universalism. And this is also called moral objectivism, that the things universally, the things are the same. The goodness is universal. But then we have another concept which is called moral relativism, that no, depends on customs. depends on culture. In one culture, the thing can be good. In another culture, the thing can be bad. So morally, the things are relative. Now, religions are more in the favor of absolutism. Okay, the thing is bad and it is bad everywhere, and the thing is good, so this is good everywhere. So that's why in the religion you don't have any room of a lot of interpretation, but religion should recognize a culture, that in different societies, different places, there are different demands, and according to that situation you should have to understand the things. Because there is another philosophy which is very, very interesting, and that philosophy is called existentialism. Existence is important, and my existence is on my own. Nobody will help me. I'm alone. And this is why, there is a kind of worry. I'm worried, being anxiety. I should be anxious because I'm on my own, my existence. Nobody will help me, neither God nor other human beings. Okay, so I should struggle for myself. And if I struggle for myself, then I will get success. Otherwise, I'll be left alone. I'm on my own. And there is absurdity in this universe. The things are absurd. The things are not logical. The things are not good. You have to fight your own way. And this is called existentialism, which is a very, very interesting philosophy. We have another philosophy like pragmatism. Pragmatism is again like consequences. That idea is valid if it is workable, if it is working. In reality, it is working, so it is valid. Otherwise, you have a lot of ideas, but if you don't put it in action, so then that is, not valid. Pragmatism, William James, the philosopher, pragmatism. If you see United States, such a big country, maybe it is because of pragmatism, because they believe in those things which are workable. If the things cannot, it doesn't have practical consequences. It doesn't have practicality. So then that is not a valid idea, and this concept is called pragmatism. Then we have new pragmatism. New pragmatism is more linguistic, like words, meaning, meaning in familiar situations. The meanings are, we withdraw meanings from the words, and the words are really very, very important. Like we have three letters, G-O-D and D-O-G. Okay, dog and God. These are the same letters, but the meanings and the things, when you put it in a special context and a special situation, so then the meanings are totally different. This is why we have a branch in linguistics which is called pragmatics, meaning in context. Special situations and special context. As in transcendentalism, we have situatedness, that we are on our own, but we must be prepared and we must understand the situation. So there are, a lot of interesting philosophies. We must read philosophy as a way of life to understand life. For example, one of the philosophy which is very, very important, like I said, consequentialism. So in the result of this philosophy, we have moral egoism, selfish, that human being is selfish. We do everything for our own satisfaction or for our own benefit. Psychologically, when we feel, for example, I'm delivering this lecture, so maybe I have some selfish idea. Nothing can be selfless. Maybe fame, people say, oh, thank you, sir. I may get some kind of happiness from that. That's why I'm doing these videos. Otherwise, I'm not getting any monetary or other benefit. Why I'm doing it? Maybe I'm selfish. So this is called psychological egoism. The opposite of this is altruism, that we do things for universal benefit, as we have our Niki kar darya mein dal, do good things and forget about it. So this is called altruism. And then another form of this is utilitarianism. Yes, we are selfish, but we should do so much good that this good can be spread for the whole humanity, for everybody. And that is called utilitarianism. So this is, and then we have another philosophy which is called Post-Modernism. Post-Modernism is the latest kind of philosophy which rejects modernism, like the Western ideals, that development and democracy and human rights and perfection and the end of history, postmodernism is against it. No, they say they reject everything. Like nihilism, another philosophy, that nothingness is the reality. Nothingness, there is nothing. This universe, what we see, this is illusion. This is not reality. This is just, an idea, a big thought, maybe by God or maybe by some other supreme power. And if I'm speaking, so this speaking has no importance because this is just an idea. Somebody is thinking and I'm speaking. So this is postmodernism is like rejecting everything, that everyone by own self inside should discover the reality. Nobody should tell, neither God nor human being should tell that what is this and what is that. This is good and this is bad. No, you should discover it by your own self. And that is called postmodernism. This is again a very, very interesting philosophy. So if you people are interested, and you should be interested to understand truth, reality, life, human being, the ultimate questions, where from we came, where we are going, what is happiness, what is reality, what is truth. So to understand all these things, we have philosophy. This is the wisdom. And there are so many good philosophies like Stoicism, Cynicism. Cynicism may feel like a bad philosophy, but it is again a very good philosophy, and which makes you like totally indifferent. In Stoicism, you get control on your emotions, because in philosophy there is a big battle between reason and emotion. Okay, our feelings. If we control our feelings, control completely, then we become more philosophical. We become more rational. But as Imam Ghazali, I will speak on Muslim philosophers some other time, but Imam Ghazali says that heart has a reason which reason can't understand. That feelings has also a reason, a rationality. But this rationality, this reason is beyond the mind. So there are things which are beyond rationality. And then we come to mysticism, and we come to spirituality, and we come to religion and other things. So this is a very, very interesting things. Don't take it that serious, because this is to enjoy. Philosophy is for pleasure. Will Durant, a famous book, pleasure. We should take pleasure from philosophy, just not make ourselves more confused, or getting like logic, valid reasoning and arguments and fallacies, and then defeating our opponents. No, Socratic method was just to get knowledge, clarity. The things becomes clear. We reach to the truth. The purpose was positive, not negative, because sometimes philosophy makes you like so rational and so true, and it makes you like so confident that then you become dangerous for society. So that is not good. Philosophy has a lot of applications. This is a very, very good subject. Please, if you take it for an exam, or as a course, or for your life, so you will always find philosophy very, very useful. I recommend it that you read and study, understand philosophy. I'm studying philosophy for a long time, and I must dedicate this first lecture on philosophy to my friend Shafi, who is nowadays in London, Shafiullah. And I remember the days when we were like lying on ground and just on roads, like crazy and mad people in Kanju township in Swat, and we were discussing these ultimate questions. And he, then he later on he did MPhil, and I think he might have done PhD in philosophy. So that was my first inspiration, and then later on I continued my study, and I found it very, very interesting and useful. There's a stage that you are confused, but then the clarity come to you. Although this confusion, skepticism, doubt, this is also a philosophy. That if you don't feel doubt, like religion tells you the things very clear. So the journey sometimes it is not that dynamic, because it is good and it is bad. So the things are clear. But in philosophy, sometimes this skepticism and this inquiry, okay, why? If you're asking why again, so then it becomes so useful. Thank you. See you soon. And please ask as many questions you can and you want. Thank you.